Very little time to talk about this complicated topic during 5 minutes. Of course, we know very well all the foreign authors, Sharp and Brzezinski. We understand methods and technology, but I'd like to make a quotation of an article from American newspaper, of the Marine Corps newspaper, and printed in 1989, changing face of the war. War will not be linear to such an extent that most probably there will be no battlefield or front line. The difference between civilians and combatants, and the action will penetrate the theater of war through the whole its depth. It will involve the society, not only physically, but in terms of cultural aspects. And we do not have a clear-cut definition of what color revolution is. Some say this is massive people's protest, which undermine the existing order. And what exactly is this? Nonviolent actions which will finally end up with the violence, or modern forms of modern warfare. Where is the boundary between color revolution and hybrid war? And maybe the hybrid war is a transformed color revolutions, and many questions arising. And we've been witnessing the events of 2014. I went to Syria to understand what's going to happen in Ukraine. I met Mr. Mamluk and Mr. Assad, and it was a shock when they said several insurgents already went to Kiev, and they will participate in a military uprising, and they will take part in overthrowing of their legitimate government. And only after that we have learned the instructions how to conduct unconventional warfare, which appeared in 2010, where all the stages how to seize power were clearly explained. And then I went to Kiev, and I was visiting Kiev on the 15th of February on Maidan, and there was no any military component. And then it appeared suddenly in several days, the violence took place. And then that kind of event requires a victim, and Sebastopol and Crimea were chosen to initiate these violent actions. And actually, that was the stage number 4 of this operation, as per the instructions. And actually, the commanders of units which were bordering Russia, actually, the leaders and the officers were replaced by those who underwent training in Western countries. So Russia closed Sebastopol and Crimea and actually saved the nation which lived there from destruction. And there wouldn't be such events like Odessa and Mariupol, those who were shot in Mariupol. And I am from Mariupol city, and about 76 people were murdered. They were civilians, non-combatant people. They went to celebrate our joint V-Day, the V-Day common to Europeans and Americans, and who actually killed those civilians, and who brought them to death. And these issues are still at large. And today we are mentioning the major threat. This is the threat that more than 20,000 insurgents from all countries of the world, from the United States, Germany, Malta, and Finland, underwent training in Syria, and tragedy which we face in Sri Lanka and which happened also in Europe, is the consequences of a hybrid war which was unleashed by the Western countries in Syria. And we actually remember in the past, Taliban and Al-Qaeda was created against the Soviet Union. A hybrid war is the weapon, sharp weapon. And we know in Russia the ways to protect ourselves. But today we need to rally our efforts together with international communities to fight against terrorism. Whatever the goals are, it always bears evil. Thank you.